Welcome to UPLEVEL, Real Health, Real Talk with Dr. Jenna Blasi. I'm Dr. Jenna. I spent years crafting ways to help women thrive, and I want to help you do the same. On this podcast, we dive deep into health at every level, focusing on the mind, the body, and the spirit. This is where real conversations meet transformational wellness. We'll be talking about all the things that truly matter, from nutrition and fitness to lifestyle, mindset, and personal development. Plus, the real deal on managing stress and navigating menopause. So if you're ready to elevate your health journey with authentic, transformative insights, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to UPLEVEL. I'm Dr. Jenna, and welcome to August. We're moving into a month I'm pretty excited about because we are talking about something that I think is one of the most misunderstood, most overcomplicated, and most important pieces of your health puzzle, and that is your gut. Your gut is likely talking to you, and we're going to learn how to understand the language, how to listen, and what to do about it. And here's what I know with the people that I work with, especially the women. You've been bloated. You've been constipated, or the opposite. You've been told you have IBS or SIBO or leaky gut or candida or sometimes all four. And you've probably eliminated gluten and eggs and dairy and the nightshades and been on the FODMAP diet, and you're living on 5 foods and still feel terrible, right? The women that come in are often, they have this little tiny list of the things that they can eat without getting aggravated. A woman came into my practice recently and she said, Dr. Jenna, I don't even know what normal digestion feels like anymore. And she had eliminated gluten and dairy, eggs, coffee. She had done probiotics, digestive enzymes, parasite cleanses, candida diet, candida cleanses, SIBO protocols. And yet, every afternoon, she still looks 6 months pregnant. The problem wasn't that, her gut wasn't talking, right? It's that no one had actually learned to show her how to properly listen and how to handle that. The gut is, and what I found with the gut is like we're just throwing spaghetti at the wall rather than stripping back the noise and really starting from the ground level up. The gut is the foundation, but we're treating it like it's a plumbing problem. So this month, that changes. And so I'm super excited about August. We're going to talk about the gut. We're going to dive in. I'm going to have an amazing expert naturopathic doctor on the gut, expert on the gut. And so when we look at what's happening with these women that continue to feel pregnant, look pregnant, feel sluggish after meals, is that nobody has really stopped to ask the most important question, which is, what is your gut actually trying to tell you? Because the parasites, the bacteria, the whatever the overgrowth that's happening, why is that happening? That's still, to me, that's still a downstream result. Your gut isn't broken, it's communicating. All right. So that's what we're going to break down this month. How do we learn to understand that communication? And look, let's be real. One episode of bloating after pizza is not a disease. Right? We're looking for patterns, and your body is not trying to betray you. It's not trying to be a-hole, no pun intended, since we're doing the gut. Sorry, terrible visual for you all. It's trying to get your attention. All right, so let's start to learn the language. Your gut is not just a digestive organ. It's a system, and it is connected to everything. It is one of the most sophisticated communication systems in our body. All right. Your gut contains over 100 million nerve cells, more nerve cells than your spinal cord. And so it's sometimes called the second brain. You may have heard this, and for good reason. It is constantly making decisions, communicating with your immune system, talking with your brain, and you don't consciously think about any of that. All right. So if we look at all of these aspects of the gut, it's home to trillions of microorganisms, your microbiome. I'm sure you've heard this term, and they're doing far more than digesting food. The gut produces approximately 90% of your body's serotonin, your feel-good neurotransmitter that, the SSRIs that people take are based on the serotonin reuptake in your brain, but your gut produces 90% of your body's serotonin. It also communicates directly with your brain via the vagus nerve. So that gut-brain axis is a two-way highway. It's not a one-way street. It houses about 70% of your immune system. So if you're getting sick frequently, if you're a teacher or someone that's like, kids in daycare and feeling like you're getting everything going around, up to 70% of your immune system is housed in the gut. And it is deeply connected to your hormones. Estrogen metabolism happens in the gut. They've even termed this like the estrobolome. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's a specific collection of gut bacteria that's responsible for metabolizing and eliminating estrogen from the body. So when your gut is struggling, when your microbiome is out of balance, when the lining is compromised, when elimination is sluggish, it's not just a digestive problem. It shows up as mood issues, immune dysregulation, including autoimmune, hormonal imbalances, brain fog, skin issues, fatigue. The gut is the foundation. So let's stop treating it like a downstream plumbing issue and start treating it like the foundation. All right, so let's break down what your gut symptoms are actually telling you. Your symptoms are signals. They're not sentences. And a lot of us feel like they're sentences. They're signals. So these signals, these symptoms are common, but they're not normal. So whenever someone tells me that they're bloated after every meal or they're sluggish after every meal, my brain immediately starts asking questions, not just jumping to answers. Yes, it could be dysbiosis. Yes, it could be low stomach acid. It could be food sensitivities, sluggish motility, stress response. But I don't assume. I get curious. So let's walk through these signals and these symptoms. Bloating after meals, not just I ate too much, but bloating after meals. This could be dysbiosis, low stomach acid, food sensitivities, sluggish motility. But I would want to ask the question, is it every meal or certain foods? And I know a lot of you come to me and you're like, I don't know the pattern. Like some of you know some things, like I know if I eat these 3 foods, but other times I could just have water, or other times I could have this or that. But still want to ask the question, is it after every meal or just certain foods? Is it upper or is it lower? Is it immediate bloating or is it hours later? Is it related to any patterns in your day, like stress, your work day, eating on the run, etc.? All right, let's look at constipation. This is one of the most common things I see and one of the most underaddressed. If you're not having at least one full bowel movement per day where you feel like fully evacuated, your body is not eliminating what it needs to eliminate, including excess hormones. Google the Bristol stool chart too if you want to check out what your poop should look like. All right. Then you have the opposite of that, the loose stools or urgency. Now the nervous system is involved here. And I say opposite, but it's sometimes along the same continuum, especially those of you with IBS, that's sometimes constipation, sometimes diarrhea. But the nervous system is involved here often. Stress, anxiety, dysbiosis, fatigue after eating. Your body is working too hard to digest something that's struggling with. And then brain fog, mood shifts, anxiety. This is that gut-brain axis. It's not in your head. It's in your gut. I'm not saying it's only that, right? Menopause affects these things, but menopause also affects the gut. It's like which came first, what's doing what. So these are all body's communication with us, and we want to listen so that we can actually get to the bottom of it. There's another pun. I didn't intend it. Get to the bottom of it. So look, these symptoms are common. I see them every day in my practice. Almost everyone that I see, or probably at least 80%, doesn't mean it's normal. Your body is not supposed to feel this way after eating. Discomfort isn't the price of admission for having a digestive system. And this is why these people go on these extreme elimination diets and they feel better for a period of time, because it's just like giving everything a break. So here's some check-in questions that you can ask yourself. How do you feel after meals? Comfortable or uncomfortable? How often are you having a bowel movement and what does it look like? So go check out that Bristol stool chart. Do you have recurring bloating, gas? Is your gas stinky? Is it not stinky? Like that's information as well. Are you having cramping? And then how is your energy, your mood, your skin? Like start paying attention. All right. Your gut has been talking. And so we're going to break that down this month and really learn to listen. Because the truth is that your symptoms are often your body's attempt to communicate something that's out of balance. And so I often say, look, sometimes there are actual diseases at play. IBD, celiac, right? Colon cancer. These are real and they deserve a proper diagnosis. If something feels serious or you've had big changes suddenly in your bowel movements, please see your doctor. Please get a workup. But what we're talking about this month is the chronic, nagging, everyday stuff that so many women are told is just normal and learn to live with it. And I will say for women especially, like bloating is very, very uncomfortable because we already have that extra belly fat from menopause and then we feel bloated on top of it. Okay, so what actually supports? So let's break down what actually supports a healthy gut. This is the unsexy truth, y'all. Foundations are boring. The foundations are boring and they work, right? So before we get to protocols and testing and elimination diets, the foundations matter the most. Go back and listen to my podcast, Why Does Health Feel So Complicated, right? How do we simplify it? It's the unsexy truth, fiber. Diversity of plant foods feeds a diverse microbiome. Most women are getting far less than they need. I know there's a lot of big proponents of the carnivore diet out there, and I'm going to alienate people, but we don't have good long-term data on it. And what I've seen over and over again is it may help for a period of time because it's an extreme elimination diet, but long-term leads to more problems. Even people that have been proponents of the carnivore diet have started adding other things back in and found that they hit a wall. So sometimes we take these extreme measures because we don't feel well, but that's not where we want to live. It's not where we want to stay. Fiber has been shown over and over and over again to be beneficial, right? Diversity of plants feed a diverse microbiome. Most women are getting less fiber than they need. You want to aim for 30 different plant foods per week, not 30 servings, 30 different plant foods. All right. You want to aim for at least 25 milligrams or 30 milligrams or grams. I don't know. I always mix that up with fiber. I think it's grams. You can look that up. I apologize. I don't know what it is with fiber that I always want to. I'm like 99% sure I mean to say grams, 25 to 50 grams of fiber a day. But 25, to 30 ideally. And remember that diversity of plants will equal diversity of your microbiome. Stress management. The nervous system and the gut are in constant communication. Chronic stress directly disrupts gut motility, microbiome diversity, gut lining integrity. So when you hear people talk about leaky gut, that's intestinal hyperpermeability. And you cannot supplement your way out of a stressed nervous system. We have to address the stress. Now, remember too, in menopause and perimenopause, our stress resilience goes down. Our stress hormones, everything is changing in the way that we respond to stress. So we want to support the body through menopause, but the gut is one of the ways that we do that. And it's a foundational starting place that will change everything you do. Like if you end up on hormone therapy, what other things you end up adding, the gut is really a foundation. And then they'll help each other, right? The estrogen therapy, estrogen helps the gut, but you also have to really, in my opinion, directly address the gut. Chewing, digestion starts in your mouth. So eating fast, eating stressed, eating on the run, eating in your car, not chewing thoroughly, all of it impacts what happens downstream. I don't know if I ever told you the story. So I went to the Ann Wigmore Institute of Living Foods when I was in my 20s, and I did their raw food, living food. It was living food certification. I went to Hippocrates as well in Florida. And then, but the first one I went to was the Ann Wigmore Institute in Puerto Rico. And we had to chew. So they had this, they would say, chew your foods and drink your juices. So even when you're drinking a juice, right, you chew it. So you get all of that digestion activated in your mouth. And it was so awful. It was so gross. We had to chew until they rang a bell. So when we were eating food, we chew until it's a liquid in your mouth. Chew your juice, drink your food. Oh, But anyway, they were all about digestion starting in the mouth. And so we just sit there like chew, chew, chew till they rang a little bell and we could swallow. I'm not recommending this. I'm not saying go do this. I'm just telling you a funny story from my past. Okay, sleep. The gut microbiome has its own circadian rhythm, and poor sleep disrupts it directly. Now, movement, microbiome diversity increases with regular exercise. One more reason, right? One more reason. And look, I know none of that's exciting, right? No one's selling you online, chew your food and manage your stress. I mean, hopefully they're including that, right? So like including managing their stress and anything that you're doing. But this is truly what moves the needle. The foundations always come first. That's why in our journeys with people, we start with the gut and we're working on stress and we're working on slowing down and finding joy, frankly. All right. So let's close up. I like to keep these a little shorter and more actionable for you. Here's where we're starting in August. Not with the complicated stuff, not yet, with the foundation. Because if we don't get this right, nothing else will work the way it should. Even, your GLP-1, your hormone therapy, all the different things that you're trying, they're not going to work the way they should. And when we start just eliminating for the rest of our lives, right? You go to a lot of functional medicine doctors and they just give you a scroll of foods to eliminate. That's still a downstream problem. If you're reacting to so many foods, that's a downstream problem. The gut is the foundation, right? If you have a leaky pipe in your house, and let's say it's kind of flooding your house, you can pump all the water out. But if you don't actually go to the source of the leak, it's going to keep being a problem. And this is what I see with so many women is the list of foods that they can eat gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So let's set this foundation up. Next week, we're going to go deeper into the gut hormone connection, specifically what's happening with estrogen metabolism in the gut and why this matters so much for peri and postmenopausal women. But even my premenopausal listeners, like this still applies to you. It's one of my favorite topics. So I'm excited about that. All right, here is your assignment for the week. For the next 7 days, I want you to keep a simple gut journal. Nothing fancy. You can even use the Notes app on your phone. Just after every meal, just note, how do I feel? Am I comfortable? Am I bloated? Am I tired? Am I fine? Note your bowel movements, frequency, and how you feel afterward. Go ahead and get that Bristol stool chart off of Google and note where you land with it. And then count how many different plant foods you eat in a week. Just count them. You don't have to change anything yet. Just observe. I can improve in this area too. And I'm a vegetarian. I should be eating a wide variety of vegetables, but that's one of the reasons I like going to the farmer's market and like trying new things and getting different vegetables into my diet. And so you're just observing with how many vegetables and the diversity. Start paying attention. Your gut's been talking. This month, we're going to learn how to interpret, learn the language, how to listen. But it's awareness first, always awareness first. And look, if your gut has been an ongoing struggle and you're actually, really ready to get to the bottom of it, you're tired of just guessing, reach out to us. hello@uplevelholistic.com. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this episode of UpLevel, Real Health, Real Talk. I hope today's conversation inspired you to take the next step in your health journey, one that nourishes not just your body, but your mind and spirit as well. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you found value in today's episode, please leave a review. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep thriving. And remember, true wellness is a journey, and you are on the right path.